Hollywood, I love the sunshine now. Now I have a question, and it's not related to this map necessarily, but Hollywood as a whole. Do you think esports casters will ever get their own stars on the Walk of Fame?
I thought you had to pay for those. Aren't those generally bought?
Then I'm out.
We have to come up with a new city for that. I'll ask Denver.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Denver's got some cool stuff downtown, downtown-ish. Yeah, so
they might be different. They might not be 100% star shaped. It might be a slightly different pointed. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like a six-sided star, like a hexagram.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
No, you weren't thinking that.
Something a little more organic.
Unfortunate. Well, Denver is becoming an esports, capital. You're going to have a DreamHack here. I think TwitchCon's coming here. You've already got the great studios here, and I mean, we're here. We're icons, kind of, kind of-ish, kind of.
We went to a local restaurant, and they noticed our Overwatch apparel, but
had
not
no
us.
idea. Not even the closest. So we're celebrities when we tell people we're celebrities, which is
kind of
the time.
Guys.
I walked on the street saying, "Ask me how I'm a celebrity." All right, well, here we go. Defense, it's going to be dive defense, triple DPS, and offensively, they are going to run triple tank. So a little bit back to their roots. Mafu will be on the Diva, so they're going to be trying to dive in and take out the 76, but this is good for them. Oddly enough, Linkser is going to play one of the tanks.
Yeah, Linkser's going to be on that Zarya, so we'll see how her projected barriers are used, if she can build up that energy and just start melting away. Now, Genji has to be careful, so you see Dixie Dix just playing line of sight, trying to poke as much as he can. He's at 31%, but he's dropped down really low.
It just warms my heart to see Fraggy on the Reinhardt. This is where he's most comfortable. He's chasing people down. That's exactly where it's going to be. The problem with Reinhardt now is exactly that. There's just too much focus damage that can come in. They were trying to help him early on by giving him the bubble, but Linkser comes back, has used the bubble, gets a couple of kills. Pretty decent for the offense to get some of these trades at least.
And he's healthy. That's what you want to see. Your Zarya needs to stay high health, high energy, so that she's a consistent threat. Look at Zappis. He helps get that kill on Sepulka, and it looks like NIP have just broken point A. Like that, no problem whatsoever. 5 minutes and 20 seconds on their clock as we transition. It looks like Linkser's going back to spawn. He's going to be swapping off.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he wants to go to. I think Genji is a perfect switch here as we enter into the Westworld phase, a term I borrowed from some of my favorite casters. You need to get the high ground, so they're going to have Winston, they're going to have Diva, and they're going to have Genji all up there to do so, because look, they're going to already try to plant out on the high ground here. I love that they went with the Reinhardt there. I think it's a point you can still run it on. I think some teams are too doggedly into the meta, trying to adapt. Play what you're good at. Go back to it. I mean, what are you going to lose? More games? It's not going to be possible.
All right, so the point not contested quite yet. It's getting pushed right now by NIP. GamersOrigin just waiting to build up a few more ultimates before they go in. They do have that transcendence for the fight, but they just don't have a really good engagement.
Yeah, it's totally fine, and they're going to actually get up there with the Winston and bully them down. They took all the free push that they were going to give them. If they're going to give you that push all the way through halfway, just take it. I mean, if the other team's going to lay down a bunt, pick it up, throw it to first base, take it away. Linkser comes in, is able to take out Ben Best, so that means the tank is out of the mist. He looks for a little bit more deflect now down, though, as the 76 visor comes in, but he's just going to pop it down, trying to take him out. Linkser, man, we watched the games earlier, and the times where they won fights, or just, we want to go give him a back rub, because he is carrying this team in a lot of situations, 2Ks, 3Ks. Linkser's been a great addition to this team. He's been a great individual player for a while. Maybe found himself a new roster.
All right, so NIP just meters away, but GamersOrigin trying to make their way on out. They're trying to push out from the spawn right now as they do engage with that sound barrier right now, but they haven't found anything off the back of it quite yet. NIP actually quite healthy until Ben Best comes in. A double kill comes out for him. Zappis gets one on Sepulka, but is it going to be enough?
Very difficult to take down a Winston who's already got a bubble on him, too, or a healing balloon, as I call it. I think it's called Harmony Orb. I don't know. I make up my own dumb names for some of these things. They're going to come in. Transcendence will stall out a little bit more, and the kills just haven't come quick enough. A nice pulse bomb comes in there from Zig to put the exclamation point on the end of this defense. So they had to throw a lot at it, some counter ults thrown in. Ninjas and Pyjamas, though, kind of burned through that phase, and now they should have all the time in the world to set up and which angles they want, left or right, but being very aggressive on the defense, they want to take the roofs back.
Yeah, Primal Rage used by Fraggy, trying to knock people off where he was just low health now, but they have just kited away, so that's just going to go largely to waste, but right now NIP pushing in from the right-hand side.
Rooftop is still being held rather well, and they're just going to give up trying to contend that. They only sent Fraggy in. Instead, they've got the Transcend on the ground. But some nice stalling. The Winston's the only one down there. If you kill him, you can actually start moving this thing. They are unable to focus that. Bloodless, though, so far. Linkser got very low. Will take someone with them. A small advantage now for NIP on this push.
Yeah, it was a 2-for-1 exchange. Poco up top used that tactical visor, only able to get the D-Mech onto Mafu, and right now, kills just coming in very slowly for NIP. So GamersOrigin, they're going to be able to respawn here and just contest. But we do have Fraggy pushing forward. Zappa will be able to get the kill onto Poco. Now Sound Barrier comes out for NIP. They want to clean this up, and they do. They've gotten down Dixie Dix, and now they're starting to run out of steam. GamersOrigin are on this defense.
Had to use a lot, and a very prolonged fight here. Interestingly enough, they will finally clean it up there. Rolling on to third. Only took them 2 pushes on Hollywood, and I think it's the right strategy when you know that your dive doesn't work all of that well. I mean, despite having the pieces to the dive, they just took the low ground. They knew eventually if they can get the bubbles and the shielding they need, that they have to come to you. They have to come deal with you on the low ground, and they didn't really contest the high ground, which honestly has not been Ninjas of Pyjamas' strength.
Take a look at the swap-offs coming out from GamersOrigin as soon as they got that respawn, right? Ben Best whipping off. Oh, we have a self-destruct coming out from Mafu. It's not going to connect onto anyone right now. Transcendence is going to be used by Zappa, and they're going to continue to push forward. Zappis will be able to get that kill onto Zik, and now they've got the man advantage, and they're trying to focus down Dixie Dix, who had that orb on him, and he goes down immediately.
I gotta say, I've been pretty impressed with Zupe, a player that I called out earlier on. Can he transition to Zen the way other players have transitioned to Zen? He's gotten a lot of transcendences on. I think he just had it in the last fight, had it here again as they roll through here. So some individual performances coming in. Interesting that Fraggy's staying on this Winston, especially when the opponent's gonna run a Rhine. This is again one of the few areas you can run a Rhine on to go towards the end. That is why you don't run a ton of Reinhardt, because you just become a pincushion for pulse bombs, but he's gonna live at half health. Dixie Dix comes in, gets 2, gets 3, and that should spell the end of this push.
Yeah, Linkser gets a consolation kill, putting a stop to Dixie Dix, but the damage was done. NIP falling back now. I talked about it just a little bit earlier, but Ben Best, he's on the Reinhardt now. He's got the Earth Shatter at the ready. Fraggy making the swap off now because he knows he's got to block it.
Yeah, Fraggy was just waiting for someone to switch to Reinhardt so he could convince his team to let him go back to Reinhardt. Unfortunately, he's going to be a whole Earth Shatter behind. It's really going to rely on him to be able to block that Shatter and get his own out. Here comes a Blade from Lynx as he tries to come and gets his way to the backline, finds Zik, forces out the Transcend, so already totally worth as they get a couple in. Another Transcend from Zupe. This guy is made of the Iris.
Yeah, if you've been looking at his ultimate charge, he's been landing those right clicks over and over again. You just see it ticking up right now. Pulse Bomb connected onto Ben Best, but he was kept alive by Poco. That projected barrier coming out. Sound barrier used by NIP. We even got Linkser swapping off onto the Widowmaker just to get free damage off on the backside. But Ben Best comes in with the charge onto Zappis. Is it going to be enough, though? They're trickling in one by one. Our GamersOrigin, as we do have hype. He swapped off onto Somer, but he immediately gets taken on down, and that's going to be NIP completing it out. And with 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock.
An important number. What I really like, though, and I've talked about this with all sorts of teams I've covered, the meta can't dictate who you are, and it can't dictate how you play to the nth degree. Yes, let it influence you. Yes, try to adapt. You should have heroes in your pool. But Ninjas of Pyjamas found a little bit of their old identity. In the last several days when we were watching them, even going back to last week, where if you took their names off the screen and you took NIP off the screen, we wouldn't have recognized who they were. They had no identity, no idea how they wanted to play. Even putting Linkser onto the tank there, like, Fraggy seems so much happier on the Reinhardt. He seemed better. Yes, he was still playing aggro, but that's fine. Zupe found another gear on Zenyatta we haven't seen him find just yet, so it warms my heart as someone who has seen Ninjas Pyjamas play for a while, who's just struggled so hard to adapt to this dive meta, to say, we're going to do a little bit of it, but we're going to do it with our style, with our flair.
Yeah, even though Zupe wasn't coming up big in the kill feed, he was getting the damage across, and that's what we were expecting out of a lot of people making transition over to Zenyatta. They became that secondary, tertiary damage threat, and so now he is starting to open up, and they are looking a lot more comfortable on NIP. I'm more than okay with them running this triple tank composition once again. This time it's going to be Zappis on that Zarya, while Linkser is going over to Roadhog, and Hollywood is one of those places where Roadhog can be extremely strong, especially here on point A, over by the stairs by Gatorade.
Right. Tertiary? When you read books? You nerd.
I don't read books. I just remember from I believe it was like art class, right? You got the tertiary color compositions.
Tertiary color. I thought it was a biology, like tertiary food system. Clearly, I didn't pay attention to school. But hey, in my defense, biology was first period. I never got there on time.
No.
Well, on the offense, yeah, they're going to run a Zarya too. And I think some of these hybrid maps in King's Row does come to mind, are maps that you can run more tanks on, which is maybe why we've seen Ninjas Pyjamas have a little bit more success. Ninjas Pyjamas going to run 3 tanks again. Linkser is going to be on the Roadhog of all things. It's odd, you know, Himsy is not on this roster right now, and they're going to run a Roadhog anyway. That's got to sting a little bit. Regardless, Fraggy's going to be on the defense here. They missed that first hook. There's going to be a Rhine battle for one of the first times we've seen an EU in a while.
Oh, Zappis goes down first, though, and that is a huge pickup, so you're not going to have that damage mitigation with the projected berries, but Linkser puts an end to Zik, and he was the primary DPS on the side of GamersOrigin, but they do have positioning here. Linkser going up high. He wants to get a hook, but now a great charge comes on in. Might be a little overextended. No, they find out Zupe there, and he will go down, so this is going to be a 2-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, Fraggy went for a charge there to get out, but you really can't do it against this kind of incoming damage, though. Zappis has notions of being the hero. His buddy Mafu's still alive as well. A couple kills come in for them. Very nice, and the cleanup is totally there. Nice pullback just based on the back of the DPS for these players. Linkser's going to have whole hog up. Mafu did enough damage. They don't have Visor up, and that's a great first hold for this team.
Yeah, Zappis swapped off to that Tracer. You know, he immediately died as Zarya there, and he had to get back onto the fight. So we see a lot of teams actually like try to go for a Sombra or for a Tracer just to get to the point quicker, and that was a huge difference maker. Linkser has a whole hog. He can use it as a disengage, or they can just push forward with it, try to break the Rhine shield. Anyway, it's a multifaceted tool.
I think you hold on to it if you can for when the grab comes, because you can knock it away and make sure that you don't take a ton of that damage, especially now with Transcendence being burned, and Earthshatter comes down, does not do a whole lot. The Transcend will come out for the offense pushing in to try to make sure that the barrier does nothing. Here comes the grab, but no whole hog in the mix as Ben Best has a fire strike to feed him. Yeah, Linkser was just out of position. He didn't get in that grab. He's going to try to redeem his reputation with his team by coming out and pushing Ben Best out anyway. This is a moment where the offense should have a small window, yeah, and they're going to push back into on it because they got the kills at the right timing to have a small advantage, but not necessarily pushing it. It feels like they feel a little low, going to wait for reinforcements, but no pressure even on this point. I thought they could have started at least putting pressure on the point. Mafu's not going to jump down there.
No, he can wait. He can bide his time. They just, you know, relinquished that first tick, and they're just using the resources well at this point. They have regrouped inside Cafe, but they're kind of funneled in there. They got to be careful, but Mafu, Helix Rocket, takes out Noki, and already Linkser coming in, takes out Dixie Dix, so now they're starting to run out of steam on the side of GamersOrigin.
But you know what I mean? You saw Mafu sitting up on top of the cafe. He looked down, and there's 2 people on the offense. He looked again, there was 3 people down there. It was just him up top. You could start putting progress on the point. Mafu can't jump down and defend that. If he does, that's pure suicide. So a little bit odd that they weren't playing the objective there. And look, they got 2 ticks during that. If they'd been playing it earlier, who knows? Maybe that'd be a full cap point. So a little bit of an odd play there. They were healed up. They had supports. Maybe I'm missing something in that mix. Regardless, last push incoming for the offense, and Zap is looking to end it before it even starts. He's got supports below him. He's going to wait for that. And now dueling Zubiata's on the point while everyone goes nuts. Mafu taken out, though, unable to get that transcend. Fraggy went for the flank shatter, got nothing out of it.
Yeah, Ben Best has his own, but he's so low HP, he can't really drop that shield. Zap is consistently just peppering him down, but Zik will take out Zupa, and now they're pushing forward. They've got the man advantage. 3-man Earthshatter comes out, and just the last minute, they will be able to secure this point. Ben Best coming up with a huge Earthshatter.
Zappis is probably kicking himself because he was all over Ben Best. The mosquito that Tracer is when you're playing Reinhardt. He could not find him, but good support on the side of GamersOrigin to keep Ben Best up. He falls there, they don't have the shatter, and all those dominoes don't come into play. So at the 25th hour, that will be GamersOrigin finally capturing the first point. And now they have just under 2.5 to get there. A nice grab follows up, and this can be dangerous. This is the snowball effect that is so prevalent in Overwatch. Nice by Zappas to get a couple of kills to just try to bring this back. Going to be able to stay alive, at least for the moment, but this is going to be a lot of free push for the offense.
Oh yeah, definitely. They are now regrouping on the payload, and they had the Lucio player on it. Initially, Noki was just, I guess, tweeting from the payload, but now NIP will have another opportunity. They have Zappas. He hasn't been connecting, 2-3-man pulse bombs quite yet, but he still has plenty of time to open on up. They're going to have the sound barrier to engage into this fight too, so they just need to bide a little bit more time, make sure they regroup for this.
Well, over top, in one of the best noises of the game of Lucio getting electrocuted there. Glad that we caught that on audio. So far team's coming in, but Linkser gets taken out immediately. They do trade out a little bit. Hype being gone does hurt their push potential a lot. It means they have to be a little bit more careful. And now NIP gets aggressive. They pop the sound barrier, they jump in. Is there gonna be the proper retreat here from GamersOrigin? I mean, they still lost 2. I bring that up because in their first matchup, one of the things I noticed is that GamersOrigin was great on retreating. They were baiting NIP into using ults to engage in fights like that, and then just, I'm out of here. Later, dog, I'll see you later. I'll come back in, and they did it several times, and that's how they ended up getting ultimate advantages.
Now they're a little bit up against it. 1 minute. 5 seconds left on the clock for GamersOrigin just to get the second check. But remember, they have to push it all the way. NIP were able to complete out the map with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. So the pacing for GamersOrigin not looking too great so far, but they do have 3 ultimates to use for this next team fight.
Last good push incoming. You have to measure the Blade. Wow, Mafu tried to get out of there, unable to do so. Blade might not even need to come in now. That is 3 vanilla kills. Didn't have to burn anything. These discords are perfect. And when you see discords like that and you see it all from the first-person view, it means that your comms are on point. It means follow the purple balloon, which is a great strategy to have, and just hunting those people down. Discord, Discord, Discord. Beautiful play, and give a lot of credit to Hype there on the GamersOrigin Zenyang.
Zapizzo goes in, he gets the pulse bomb onto Noki, taking him immediately out. He had that sound barrier. Now, we're 15 seconds away. Zapis gets the second kill onto Benbest while Dixie Dix tries to fight back. He's found 2 kills, but he goes down. Linkser on that Genji picks up a triple kill, and this might put a stop to GamersOrigin.
They almost got the back cap there too, but the full cleanup, I think it caught him by surprise, because that caught me by surprise. I did not think they were going to come back in. The very last second they do. That's the kind of aggression they needed to pull it off. And Linkser, a great addition to this team. We looked at this NIP roster, and I think, 3 weeks ago or so, and we're like, they need to add some DPS, right? And we looked at the free agents who were out there, and Linkser comes to mind. I think it's Finnish, you know? They like their country pride on the NIP team. They all like to fly the same flag. And he's done a great job. He also can carve up pumpkins. Can we get some variation of the highlight intros? Does everyone in Europe hate pumpkins?
All right, so this was that final game-winning push that came out from NIP to just put a stop to GamersOrigin. I mean, they struggled there. Initially, right, they went on for that early kind of spawn camping, but they got punished for that. They had to they were forced back. And then, man, they just were not expecting that timing push coming out from them.
Well, I'll tell you, there are many topics to discuss when it comes to these two teams in this match, but most of them are secondary or even tertiary, if you will, at this point. The primary thing I'd like to talk about is the return of the 3-tank meta. And is this really just NIP playing what they're most comfortable with and maybe GamersOrigin not playing what they're most comfortable with? Or what is